Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And it is Valentine's Day weekend. Happy Valentine's Day weekend. Whether you are spending Valentine's Day weekend alone or whether you have a partner, I hope that we learn to practice some self-love this weekend, because I think that self-love is really, really important. And it's something that comes out in a lot of the meditations that I read over here. And, I think it's, in talking about self-love, I think it's really, really important to make sure that we take care of ourselves. Even if that's, I have so many people that I talk to, like friends of mine, they're always like, you preach self-care, but like, I don't even have enough time because I'm driving the kids to soccer or taking the kids to school or making dinner and doing homework. And I totally understand that, right? But self-care and self-love can even just be like 5 minutes before you go to bed, after the kids are asleep, and all of that, after you've cleaned up the kitchen, of doing like a face mask in the bathroom, or just listening to, I don't know, some instrumental music while you lay in bed and just kind of let your mind relax, or eating a scoop of your favorite ice cream, or I don't know, just something simple, maybe once a week if you're trying to, eat healthy, allow yourself to go to McDonald's and get some fries or something like that, Self-care doesn't have to be this huge thing, and I think when we talk about self-care, it can range everything from allowing yourself to get French fries at McDonald's once a week, all the way to taking yourself on a vacation or, going to therapy. I think that's a huge form of self-love. So there's, a lot of ways that we can exhibit that in our own lives. And I think a question for Valentine's Day weekend in talking about love, is asking yourself, am I taking care of myself? Am I loving myself enough and treating myself the way that I treat others? And if not, then shouldn't I be doing that? And what can I do to treat myself better? Because the reality is, if you aren't treating yourself well, then you're not going to have a lot of love to give to other people. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So please, please, please make sure that you're taking care of yourself, okay? All right, let's get into today's meditations. I brought my 3 favorites with me. And I'm going to go right into A Year of Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Wisdom, and Courage by Cindy Spiegel. I actually did bring my reading glasses with me, and they are clean. I just cleaned them off a little bit ago. February 12th. Let's see what it says for us. The family you choose. Oh, I like this one. Okay. Your community is the family you get to choose. Choose wisely. Connect with others consciously. Some friendships will grow and shift along with you, while others will dissolve as you evolve. Try not to take this personally. It doesn't make the relationship any less valuable. Faithfully honor the friends that grow with you. Cherish them. Consider yourself one of the lucky ones to have such long friendships. And when time allows, welcome new friendships with curiosity, love, and a wide open heart. These new friends, too, can become a part of your beautifully curated family. I really, really like this meditation, and let me tell you why. When I came out in 1990, there was this concept that a lot of people talked about because so many friends of mine that I knew, and not just friends of mine, but tons and tons of people, when they came out, they were just told by their families, don't ever come back around again. They were basically just, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word, but they were just, told that they didn't ever want to talk to them again, and they had no family. And so this whole concept of picking a family of choice came out, where I think, if you look at who you consider family in your life, and even maybe some of you will call, like friends of your family, like aunt, uncle, sister, mom, things like that. My mom's best friend, her friend Susie, whenever I talked to her on the phone, she was like, it's Mother Susie, and I've had so many aunts through the years that weren't really aunts and things. And I look at that and I think about how, like, really growing up, I had a family of choice as well around me. People that my parents chose for us to have in our lives that weren't necessarily blood relatives. And the thing is that we can't pick who our blood relatives are. I know that we wish we could sometimes. I feel really, really blessed in talking about families because my blood family, like, my dad, my stepmom, my extended relatives, my cousin Caroline on my mom's side that's left, yes, there's been some chaos. Like, Caroline and I talked about our mothers drinking and things when we were growing up and toxicity. But we also talked about the beauty and the magic of our childhoods growing up, because there was a lot of that as well. And then on my dad's side, it's just been, wonderful always. Well, not always, but I brought a lot of chaos to that as well. But, and then now with my in-laws, it's just like, I feel such a part of that, family, and I feel like they're my family, obviously, because they are, and they've just welcomed me with open arms, and it's just, we don't fight, we don't argue, and it just is really, really nice, and, I hear so many friends of mine talk about their mother-in-laws, or, their sister-in-laws, or it's like, I can't get along with so-and-so, and I don't want to go to this family thing because of so-and-so, or my mom's going to be hassling me, yada, yada, yada. And I just, I don't have that in my life today. And there have been moments of that, there really have. But like when my mom and I got sober, it didn't fix everything. My mom didn't become like, my mom was always kind of a helicopter mom, which I'm sure doesn't surprise a lot of people. But, that didn't change overnight, I had to set limits and boundaries with my mom. I had to learn. Before we set limits and boundaries, we have to learn to set limits and boundaries, and we have to practice setting limits and boundaries, And I had to do that. And it's interesting that just when we kind of got it right, my mom passed away, we had a couple years where we got to like practice having a really healthy relationship, but it took us a while. So I think when you talk about your family of choice, it's like, well, who do I choose to spend my time with? Obviously, I talk about my best friend, and I talk about her husband on here a lot. And, they are definitely family to me. They've welcomed me into their home like family. They're definitely like Tanya and her husband are definitely like sister and brother to me. Like they have just, in ways that I don't even know how to explain, And I have so many other friends of mine, especially like friends of mine in recovery, and my friends Melissa and Jason are like closest couple friends, It's like, I consider them family, There's so many people that I have in my, not so many because I have a small circle of people around me, and I don't know that I want it to be huge today, but I have so many people that I would call family today. I love them like family. I would be there for them like family, and I know that they would reciprocate that. And I think that, we constantly get stuck in this idea of like blood family, family of origin. Well, there's a huge difference between family of origin and family of choice. And you get to pick your family of choice, And isn't that a miraculous thing? That you get to call this person family, And you get to say, oh, you're like a sister to me. Or, you're like the mother I never had. And we get to allow those people into our lives, and they allow us into their lives as well. And what a privilege that is, And I feel so honored to have people around me that I do consider family, Some of them I know, well, most of them I would say I know better than I know some of my like cousins and things, especially like, well, my cousin Caroline's the only cousin I have on my mom's side, but on my dad's side, I have cousins that I haven't talked to in 25 or 30 years. I don't even know where they're at. You know what I mean? I have a lot of cousins on my dad's side. So he was the youngest of 5. So, and they range in age, and I'm the youngest, and I'm 48. So just imagine. I think I have like some 70-year-old cousins, So it's crazy, when you think about that. Like, I don't even know where some of those cousins are. And the only time I've seen them in the last couple years is funerals and things like that. But then I have family, I talk about this a lot on my vlog, or I have been, like, I guess I just talked about it the other day, but I was talking about it with Tanya too. That I had a friend of mine that I was like, really like diehard Good Judy, right? From the time that I came out until the time that I got sober. And even afterwards, she and I lived together for, 2.5, 3 years, I think, after I got sober. 2.5 years. And we lived together before that. And she and I were like, we were brother and sister, period, end of story. And, it's interesting because I was just talking about this the other night. It's like at the point that she exited my life, Tanya stepped in. And I look back on that and I think it's so bizarre. And I was even talking in my vlog how I could track it back to like the exact moment that, that I never really could figure it out before when Tanya and I like met, like we were trying to figure it out. And Tanya's like, I could just look in my computer system and see. And I was like, no, I want it to be kind of a mystery. I want us to figure it out. But it was all about going to Blockbuster because Tanya and I used to go to Blockbuster at that time, and my old roommate, she and I did as well. And I was like, it must have been right there, that crossover, And so what's interesting is Tanya has never met her, and she's never met Tanya, and they were 2 of my closest friends in my entire life. And I don't talk to my other friend as much anymore. We maybe connect about once or twice a year. And, she just recently reached out to me like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and found my videos. And so we were emailing back and forth. It was fun. But, it's like, as you grow older, I think when you're younger, you think I'm going to have these friends for the rest of my life. Like, I can remember being in high school and honestly thinking these are going to be the friends of mine for the rest of my life. And there are a lot of people out there that do have those friends for the rest of their life. You know, my cousin Caroline is very close to one or two of her friends from high school, still to this day, you know. And I know a lot of people like that, especially when you live in small towns, I think. That's not my case. I'm not close with really anybody that I went to high school with, that I was friends with. I mean, I talk to them occasionally, and I'll reach out and be like, hey, I'm thinking of you, and whatever. And really, when we do, it's like no time has passed. It's kind of strange. But I think as you grow older, friendships come and friendships go. You know, I have learned, as well as with romantic relationships, I have learned, well, any kind of ending. I was talking about grieving yesterday, you know, endings. It's not just grieving people that have passed, but grieving just endings in general. I have learned to try to look back on those relationships with fondness, to try to look back on them and remember the good times. You know, like, I feel like I've had some friends that whenever, well, I actually have had quite a few, when they break up, they'll say, was any of it real? Like, it's because it'll end so horribly, you know, and they'll be like, was any of it real? And I'm like, yeah, there were a lot of real moments in there with you guys, you know? Do you remember that vacation you took? Or, I know, but what if it was none of it real? What if he didn't like me then? What if she was lying to me the whole time? And I just choose not to think that way, you know? I choose to remember the good times, and I choose to remember the laughter and, you know, the shared tears and the good times, because at that point in my life, those people were family of choice, you know? And I think maybe I allow people in too easily, but I try to have a loving heart, and, you know, I have realized I don't stay stuck as long as I used to, you know? When somebody exits my life today, whether they move away and we just kind of lose touch with each other, or are, you know, like, I've had a lot of friends. Like, one of the things that's been hard for me as I've gotten older, we don't really talk a whole lot about this in society, I don't think, but it's a truism for me, especially when I was working, is that I had so many, you know, when you're working, I was working 40 to 60 hours a week in a treatment facility, excuse me. All of my coworkers almost were women. I think it was like maybe 10 to 15% men in the treatment facility that I worked in. So all of the women that I would work with, you know, they would at some point get married and start having kids, and then their life changed drastically. And I was always happy for them, you know, and because it would be funny, because like, they would always say, oh, like, Peter is her work husband, you know, and whatever, because we would go and, like, you know, eat whatever she was wanting to have for lunch that day, Subway or whatever. I have some kind of funny stories about that, actually. But anyway, but, you know, I would get really close to somebody, and because we would work together so closely, and then she would get married, and I would go to the wedding, and then she would get pregnant, and I would be her work husband and be right by her side. But whereas we would talk every night on the phone and, you know, maybe go out and do something every once in a while, then all of a sudden her life would change, and then it started happening in my personal life too. You know, it's like everybody's life started changing. And my life kind of looked the same, you know. I would have a boyfriend for a couple years, and then we break up, and I'd start going back out again, you know, with friends of mine to clubs and stuff. And then I kind of would just recycle that whole thing. When really, in all honesty, what I wanted was the home and the husband and all of that too. And now I have that, you know. And let's hope I don't recycle this one, do you know what I mean? But it was hard. It was hard. And I actually see this happen a lot with my husband, because he's younger than me, you know. And I think by the time that you're my age, it's like, you know, Tanya's done with the homework nights with her son and stuff. You know, I used to call her and be like, do you want to get a fountain pop? And she'd say, no, I'm sitting here working, you know, with my son on his homework and all that kind of stuff. Which, you know, is what she should have been doing, right? Obviously. She's a fantastic, Tanya is such a fantastic mother. She and her husband, I'm humbled by what an amazing son they raised. And I am humbled by their ability to be two of the most amazing parents I have ever witnessed on this earth. And I just floored, you know? And, so, you know, but I see it with my husband as well. It's like, you know, he'll be friends with somebody, and they'll be like in their late 20s, early 30s, and then they'll meet somebody and start dating them seriously, and then they get married, and then they have kids, and it's like, okay, and he stays, you know, friends with them just like I would stay friends with these people as well, but it's like the condition of our friendship changed. That's normal. That's natural, you know? And I think it's just about kind of accepting that that's life. It's hard, you know? There's a lot of us out here, I think, that, and not just gay men, I think there's a lot of, you know, women and men as well, that their lives didn't continue to look like everybody else's as we grew up, you know? And maybe you chose not to have kids. Maybe you didn't get in a relationship. Maybe you're more career focused, you know? Maybe you've been in school for 12 years getting your master's degree or your doctorate or whatever. maybe you don't want any of that, you know, it's a choice. And but it's hard, I think, on some level, and to kind of relate to that. And I don't think we talk enough about that, right? Because we want to be happy for our friends. We want to be happy for their new lives and their marriages and their kids. But at the same time, it's hard because it's like, but now I don't have kids, so if we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna go out and, you know, go to lunch, my friends would rather do play dates. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, we'll find another time to talk about true crime or something like that. So it's hard, you know? And I don't think I've experienced that as much, like, in the last 10 years. I think it's really something that happened to me in my late 20s, early 30s. Because I really see it with my husband, but he's kind of even getting out of that now because, you know, he'll be 37. Will he be 37 this summer? Yeah, he'll be 37 this summer. Oh my God, it's crazy. But he's even kind of like phasing out of that, you know, because now a lot of his friends have been married for several years and they have had kids for several years. And so now they want a break, you know? So now they're like, okay, wine night out with Alex, you know what I mean? Because they want a break from all of that. And I get that, you know? And so friendships come and friendships go. And I just try to be open to it. You know, I try to remember what that's like and remember that, you know, try to focus on the good times and the positive memories. And I don't try to play stuff over and over and over in my head. I don't think it does any good. And, you know, if I really get stuck in it, I just inventory it with my sponsor and take a look at what my part is in that. And then I try to let it go. And you know what's so crazy is, like, I would say in the last year or two, like, my ability to let go of situations that back in the day I just would, like, spiral in my head over and just be like, well, this and this and this and this. I just let it go today, you know? I'm like, I don't hold on too tightly to relationships that are a lot of work, other than my marriage. You know, I just don't today. And I don't know, maybe that's telling of me. Maybe that's the fact that I'm almost 50 and I don't know how long I'll be here, you know. But I just don't spend a lot of time on relationships where it's like, I'm having to where it seems gamey, or you have to figure things out, or you have to be one step ahead. Like, that's not a friendship, okay? I don't know what that is, but that's not a friendship. And if you're in one of those where you're like, is she mad? Should I apologize? Is he upset with me because I did this? Should I do this? Whatever. Get out of that friendship. Okay, that friendship is going to be like that forever. Just get out of it, you know? And it's just not worth it. It's not worth the time. Find somebody that's not going to bring that to your doorstep. I want easy today, you know? I want easy friendships. I want calmness. I want to be able to call somebody on the phone and just be like, hey, what's going on? Let's talk for 10 minutes. And if I don't talk to you for 2 to 3 weeks, you're busy, I'm busy, and it's okay. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear, I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks. Like, guilt trip. I don't need friends that guilt trip me at 50 years old. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't need friends that guilt trip me. I don't need friends that bring drama to my doorstep. I don't need friends that are toxic. And I don't need friends that are negative Nancy's. So if you fall under one of those categories, please do not fill out an application to be my friend, because it will be stamped to denied immediately. I'm just saying, okay? You know, back in the day, I was all of those things. And so, like, I was eaten up by all of that stuff, you know, because I could check off each of those things, you know, for myself. But I'm not today. And when you get to a point where this is where I say, like, peace and serenity are not a luxury for me today. Like, I have worked so hard to have peace and serenity in my life that I am not willing to go back to that today. And if it starts even getting close to me, it's like when you see, you know, like, I've been using a lot of storm analogies lately. I did it on my vlog last night or the night before, I don't know. But it's like, when you see the dark clouds coming, it's like, close the window blinds, the storm is coming. I mean, that's how I am, okay? When I start seeing those red flags of negativity and toxicity and chaos, I'm like, close the windows, close the doors, don't let them in. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I am. Today, I think I see it soon enough that I choose not to get that close. I still get my feelings hurt. I do, you know? I'm human, and I feel pain like everybody else. And I have, you know, been in friendships, even recently, you know, where I just am like, I don't really understand this. Like, it's hurtful, you know? But I process it with my sponsor, and I work through it, and I move on, because I'm a human being. That's what we do. We move on. We put one foot in front of the other, you know? At least I try to. And I try to focus on the people that want to be in my life. Like, that's a huge deal, right? Even if you just have one person, focus your attention on that person. And the reality is, if you look around you, there's probably somebody that has wanted to be in your life for a while or wanted to do more stuff with you that like you haven't had time with because you're focused on somebody else or something else. And it's like, why are we doing that? Like, I have done that so many times. I've had like a friend that'll be like, let's go have lunch, let's have dinner. Oh, I can't, I'm busy, right? But like this person over here, like I'm trying so hard. And it's like, why am I spinning my wheels and wasting my time? Why don't I just go over here and go out to dinner and lunch with the person that actually wants to be in my life? Wow, that's a new thought, isn't it? So anyway, realize it's not just about having a family of choice versus a family of origin, you know? I think when we realize that, it opens up our possibilities to who we have in our life. But it's not just about that. It's also about the fact, and this was my most valuable lesson I talked about in my vlog the other night, we get to choose who we give the honor and the privilege of to be in our life. Like when I got that, and had my aha moment, if you want me to talk more about this tomorrow, I can talk a whole video about it. But when I got that, okay, that we are here, but for so many seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, and it's limited, who we give our attention to, who we give our energy to, whether it's, you know, spending time with, going out to lunch, shopping, family vacations, talking to on the phone, tweeting at and becoming consumed with, or being on Facebook and having to share our opinions and going back and forth with somebody, because social media is a huge part of this as well. However we choose to spend that time, we are giving that, whatever it is, person, place, or thing, event, situation, opinion, we are giving it our life. Because we are literally handing over seconds and minutes and hours, days to these people, right? I'm not willing to do that anymore with something that's not positive in my life. I don't want to do it anymore. That's why I drive around for 4 hours a night listening to an audiobook that brings me pleasure. You know, I don't want to do that anymore because then I'm just giving my life away. And when I look back, I have given my life away to so much negativity and so much just people in my life I really, quite frankly, don't care about. And I think, why did you do it? You know? And I don't today. I don't today, and neither should you. You should protect your time and your energy and realize who you choose to be in your life is somebody that you are giving them the honor and the privilege of being part of your life. And they are giving you the honor and the privilege of being part of theirs as well. So think about that. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.